Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 6 o'clock on Saturday the 2nd of April. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. You can probably see from the grass, it's a bit of a cold morning this morning. Oh, what is with this weather? You really honestly don't know what's coming day to day, and the weather forecast on TV is not much good either. But then it generally isn't, is it? It's been cold all week, but it is the weekend, so I'm pleased to get back down onto the land, see what we can get done today. Though I have to say, the amount of frost and ice we had this week, a little bit worried about the polytunnel. I've got stuff coming through in there, and I seem to remember in April last year we had a similar thing, late frosts, and the plants got knocked back. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I guess we'll find out shortly. Anyway, let me get in, opened up, sort the chickens out, and as usual we'll have a little chat. Well, first things first, before the chickens, is get a fire going, because it's damned cold. Sort the chickens out, and as usual, little red ones here for the personal service. They are funny, they really are. Anyway, it's too cold to be messing about out here, so I'll get inside the coop, see what's in there. Loads of mess, I know that, because I've not tidied up this week. Shame on me, but it'll get done today. Well, it's really nice to see the fire going. I'm feeling the benefit coming back in the cabin after sorting the chickens out, but also nice to see the kettle boiling. So let's get that coffee and have a chat. Well, good morning. It's the weekend. Seems to have been a long time coming this week. Nice to be in, out of the cold. The fire going, got the coffee. All is well in the world, despite what the media will tell you. Been an odd week with weather this week. We've had frost pretty much every day through the week. Been scraping ice off the car window first thing in the morning. And on Thursday, we even had a covering of snow. I'll pop a little picture into the video. Had a little bit more of that on Friday. Not that much though, to be fair. But it is really bitterly cold this morning. Really sharp frost. I'm a little bit nervous of going in the polytunnel to see how those seedlings in the trays and the potatoes in those buckets have held up, because I did get caught out last year with an unexpected frost. I should know better really. But you know, you put your trust in the weather forecast and fatal mistake. Anyway, we'll see when I get in there. I might be tempted to put the heater on in there tonight, just on the off chance, because I know I'll be back tomorrow. But looking in the garden room, it's looking like spring has sprung. I'll give you a little walk around in there when we go out to look at the polytunnel. But things that's going on in the big wide world, I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. Got a little note there. Not a lot really, he said, to talk about. As usual, the media is full of the story of Russia and Ukraine. The saga continues. Some of the stuff that's been put out into the news media and some of the stuff on YouTube and Facebook, there seemed to be a little army of social media warriors that just love to talk about this. And you're seeing some really quite ridiculous comments. I mean, the Western governments are pumping arms into Ukraine to perpetuate this. But there's a lot of people calling for a lot of things. Oh, let's get NATO in and we'll go and have a full-scale war. There are lots of channels on YouTube talking about World War III and what happens if the nuke drops. I'll tell you what happens if the nuke drops in a moment, because I did make a comment on one of these channels that were saying, oh, let's just nuke them. It might not make much sense to our American colleagues, but people here in the UK of a certain age might remember something that happened in terms of war and the UK back in 1982, because today, 2nd of April, is the 40th anniversary of the invasion of the Falkland Islands by Argentinian troops. And off the back of that, the UK sent a task force down to the South Atlantic to the Falkland Islands to retake those islands, which, in case people aren't aware, are British dependencies. And I know, because 40 years ago today, I just happened to be serving in the British Army, and at that time I was actually on exercise. Some countries call it manoeuvres, but I was on exercise in Germany, and we all got woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning and told to pack our bags because we were off to fight in the Falkland Islands. So at that time I was 19 at that time. How the years fly by. And yeah, off we went, and I'll pop a little picture in the video. Don't be talking about the 70s tash, because it was fashionable back in the 80s. Anyway, war. There's a song, isn't there? War, what's it good for? It certainly isn't glorious, particularly if you happen to be there. It's not like the movies where everybody's gung-ho and laughing and joking and all pumped up and feeling proud and patriotic. It might be on the way, and it might be on the way back, depending on how it goes. But when you're there, it's not. There's nothing glorious, exciting about it. And as I say, I know, because I was there. So all of this talk in the media, and all of this hype and this push by the media, and certainly a push by some governments to let's escalate this and go and give Putin a good kicking. Be careful what you wish for, guys, because it's not as exciting, glorious, wonderful and triumphant as it might seem. Even if you win, there are massive repercussions, and people, and certainly politicians, tend to forget that. Some people were saying that, oh, nuclear war, it's winnable, let's get the first strike in, blah blah blah. I promise you, even if there was just 1 or 2 nukes dropped randomly, say a couple in Europe, a couple in America, wherever they happen to land, no, the country as a whole, everybody won't die. They would if it was total World War III, let's launch everything we've got. But all you have to do is look at COVID to see what the repercussions would be, and then times that by 100. If you thought the supply chain was bad with COVID, just think what would happen if a few nukes dropped. you would lose all of your grid utilities for sure. Supply chain would just disappear overnight. Production of pretty much everything would disappear overnight. And it would take years to recover. You can't just recover from something like that. You know, the war is declared over. Do you remember George Bush and the victory speech? We're still fighting that war now, 20, 30 years later. So yeah, all of those people who are getting all excited in the media and in government and members of the public, be very careful what you wish for. It's not pleasant, it's not big, and it's not clever. And I'll leave that there. Everything else is pretty much business as usual. Continue to have inflation. Let's see what the figures are in April. That will certainly have a knock-on financially, because central banks will definitely have more interest rate rises. So I'm kind of anticipating inflation around 10, 11% by the end of the year, perhaps more in America. That won't be nice. This year in the UK, or this month in the UK, April, if we thought price rises were bad up to now, they just got worse yesterday. Here in the UK, we have something called an energy price cap, which means that the companies that supply the electric and the gas to people's homes and to businesses and factories, they're limited as to how much they can charge. In the case of households, there is this price cap, and there's a figure which is the maximum the company can charge per year for the supply of the gas and the electric. That doesn't mean you can use as much as you want and you'll only pay so much. It's the rate per unit of gas or electric that you pay. We've got a bit of backdraft going on with the fire. I'll just shut that before it smokes me out. Yeah, the price cap just went up by 50% yesterday, so companies can charge 50% more. Welcome to that and the reality of the energy crisis. And they're not done yet. There's another increase been agreed for October, so watch out for that later in the year. This energy thing isn't just about people's bills every month. This energy thing is far wider than that. There's going to be a consequential impact on prices that businesses and farmers have to do the things that they normally do. So a factory that makes widgets is going to find its energy bills have gone through the roof as well as the price of materials through inflation. They'll have gone up as well. Similarly, and probably more worryingly, farmers. They're already complaining about massive diesel price hikes for the farm machinery off the back of COVID, supply chain, and of course, because it's all Putin's fault, the Russia-Ukraine situation we've got going on. Other things for farming, particularly fertiliser, are now in short supply. These sanctions that Western governments are applying to Russia and to companies who deal with Russia, they're not just having an impact on Russia, they're having a huge impact on us. So prices of oil, gas, fertiliser, other commodities that come out of Russia are either going through the roof because we're having to find them elsewhere, or they're in extremely short supply. So I'm hoping and praying that sense prevails and this thing gets over shortly, but even if it's suddenly announced as being world peace tomorrow, that isn't the end of the story. These crises that we're having now have been building up for a number of years. They haven't just happened 3 weeks ago when Russia went into Ukraine. And they're not going to end when the Russia-Ukraine thing ends. They're going to continue for 2 or 3 years going forward. So keep an eye on that. And if you haven't started prepping, why the hell not? Surely you can see that if you buy something now for £1, you know that in a few weeks or months' time it's going to be £1.50 or £2. Why wouldn't you get it now? While it's still on the shelf and while you still have the capacity within your salary with everything else that you've got to pay for to actually buy the stuff. So yeah, another wake-up call, I guess. Anyway, spring, I hope, will be with us very shortly. I did think last week it had sprung, but Mother Nature has a tendency to just have a little bit of a laugh and joke with us as we think it's starting to warm up. She'll just do what she's done this week and just remind us that we're not in charge of the weather. She is. And she'll do as she likes. How are you guys getting on? Have you started planting yet? What have you got growing? I know some of you have, because you're leaving comments in the comment section, which is great. Really do appreciate that. But, you know, let us all know. Is there anything that you know can cope with these late frosts without getting knocked back? I'm looking forward over the next few weeks to getting a lot more planting done. I'll not be doing any this weekend, purely because of the weather. But I will be doing a whole host of little jobs. I've kind of neglected the tidying up. I've been that focused on polytunnel and getting some plants in the ground. I just had stuff strewn everywhere. And of course with the house move, a lot of stuff that I had planned on using, or I will use in the new home, in my little prepper bunker, whatever you want to call it, that I'll now have. Stuff that will be used in there, rather than pay for storage, because it's expensive enough for what I'm paying now. I didn't want to fill another storage unit with all of my preppy type stuff, or sort of tools and equipment type things. So looking around, I've got the doors to the other cabin open, I'm looking straight at it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff needs tidying away. It's just been dumped in a pile. But it's not just me, we all do that. Hands up if you do. I know lots of hands going up because I know you do. Anyway, let me get this coffee down me. The chicken coop needs a good degunge. That's not been done for a week or two. Not properly anyway. So I've got that to do. I will take you around the garden room and the polytunnel. And if I get up to anything else exciting, I'll show you that. But I think today really, outside of the cabin chat, not a lot of excitement for you. It'll be a tidying up day, I think. There is one little job on the polytunnel door to finish it off, and I'll probably show you that later. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you are staying safe and well. Do enjoy your weekend, and do, if you're not prepping, get prepping. If you are prepping, keep topping those preps up, and I'll catch you later as we go through the video. Well, I've just given the chickens a bit of greenery. I did promise you a little walk around the garden room and polytunnel before I disappear. I'm actually feeding the chickens these cabbages. They're really enjoying these, and it's going to free up some more buckets for potatoes, so there is method in my madness. Fruit trees, fig, lots of leaves coming on that now, as is with the blueberry bushes. In fact, I've even got flowers on one of them, and some just starting to come over there on that one. The apple tree and cherry tree, lots of nice growth on these, and on this one we've actually got flowers forming. How nice is that? Very nice. Quickly whiz into the polytunnel. This weather is just shocking today. Loads and loads of clouds, and it keeps hailstoning. It's quite bizarre. See, we've had visitors in this raised bed again. Bloody rabbits digging up the strawberries. I don't know how they're getting in. I really don't, because I don't see any signs of burrowing under the mesh fencing anywhere. It's quite bizarre. Anyway, let's get on, because it's starting to bloody rain or sleet or hailstone or whatever it is. Polytunnel door, I put a little latch on there, look, just to keep it in place while I'm inside, stop the door blowing open. Carrots doing really well. You can see those buckets all the way down there, including the first ones. It looks like it's raining in here. It's the wind blowing the plastic sheet in, and all the condensation inside coming down. But look at this, potatoes. That's true potato seed tubers in that one. Don't know if you can see this or not. I just thought I'd take a quick picture. Hailstones coming down. It's crazy, really crazy. Well, that's it for today. A little bit short and sweet, I'm afraid. Just got lots and lots and lots to do. I did spend a bit of time messing about in the cabin. I got distracted as usual. But everything's looking okay. Really itching to get inside that beehive, but the weather's just not helping me at all. I really need a sunny day for that, and a little bit warmer temperatures. I do see them from time to time when it is sunny, if I pop down after work, but I'm really wanting to look inside the hive. Anyway, that's it for today. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. Do drop us some comments in the comment section. Really do like to see your comments. Got any questions? Likewise, drop them in there. And I'll catch you all in the next video.